So today the focus target group, it's the Covenant of Mayor signatures. So here with me there is my colleague Miguel Morcillo that will introduce a little bit more about what is energy poverty as pillar of the energy of the Covenant of Mayor. But let's first start with entering into more details about this call for technical assistance and what it is the main purpose. I hope that you're all able to see my presentation perfectly. So today we will see a little bit the energy poverty challenges. We don't enter into much detail about the definition of energy poverty. There are other tools provided by the Advisory Hub to understand more about energy poverty in case you want to investigate it further. We will give you some information about the technical assistance ongoing, so you can get some idea of what it is actually the technical assistance. And then we will enter into some quick detail on how to apply for this call and what are the differences from the previous one in case you attended the previous webinars, or just giving you an idea of who can apply and how. So let's sum up a little bit the energy poverty challenges that are at the core of the reason to promote this technical assistance. As we know, the energy poverty is a complex phenomenon that encompasses very different perspectives. It can be referred to issues as to heat a room, to cool a room, or it has to connection with the well-being of people, with social inclusion and the definition of vulnerable consumers. All these different aspects make it complicated to understand how to properly tackle. We are facing a very complex challenge, and for this reason, we promote to develop tailored local actions and policies based on an accurate identification of the vulnerable consumers. And from here starts all the idea of this technical assistance in order to provide with the local government the exact support they need to understand what it is energy poverty at a local level and how to develop the best actions. As said, today we are joined with the Covenant of Mayor that will present how energy poverty is integrating into their own strategies and become a pillar of the Covenant. I leave the word so to my colleague to enter into more detail about the energy poverty for the Covenant of Mayor perspective. Thank you, Miguel. The floor is for you.
Thank you very much. This is a very small presentation about what we are doing in the Covenant of Mayors in energy poverty. Okay, we started to work in 2017 with the definition of energy poverty in the Covenant EU. Then we have started a collaboration with the Energy Poverty Observatory, and also exchanging with cities and regions, the so-called territorial coordinators. The Covenant of Mayors try to start to define the energy poverty topic in the Covenant of Mayors. Then we have organized workshop experts to exchange ideas about how to implement energy poverty in the Covenant. In parallel, we are also describing rules for the Covenant of Mayors at the international level within the global Covenant of Mayors. That is, as you know, the Covenant of Mayors is not working in Europe only, it is working also in other regions of the world. Since 2021, we collaborate with the Energy Poverty Advisory Hub and also with the Research Center on the development of the pillar in the Covenant of Mayors, developing indicators and an assessment tool. Okay, we can say that implementation of the energy poverty in the SECAP template have for different steps. We have a goal like we have in mitigation or in adaptation. The energy poverty goal is really simple, is to tackle energy poverty. That means that this is a political commitment. Municipalities take the obligation to make something against energy poverty. Then we have developed a list of indicators with intention to help municipalities to define energy poverty. These indicators are integrated in an assessment tool, monitoring tool, to monitor the improvement of the work against energy poverty in the municipality. And then, of course, it is necessary to define some actions also to mitigate energy poverty. We have developed around 60 indicators divided in these categories you can read here. Why 60 indicators and why so many categories? We know it is very difficult for the municipalities to define energy poverty because of different reasons. First of all, most of the municipalities don't have the experience. They are starting to work on the topic now. They have problems to define energy poverty, and we know the data is missing. We know also that municipalities have problems to get local data to define the energy poverty situation at the local level. That is the reason we wanted to develop several indicators so that municipalities can take the most suitable ones, or the ones they have enough data, for example, to be used at the local level. And this is a quite flexible approach. Municipalities can take from this quite list of indicators the most suitable, the most adequate ones for them. And this is the list of indicators as you can find in the SECAP template Excel. This list is already integrated in my covenant. Everything that I explain now is integrated in my covenant, so that you can also take a look to this information in your profile in the my covenant platform. Okay, we have defined the indicators in different categories. We have made a division between monitoring indicators and related indicators. We have defined indicators we give a description and we give a unit. And as I said, the most important indicators that we call the monitoring indicators are implemented in this assessment and monitoring tool that you can use to make a monitoring of the improvement of your work in energy poverty at the local level. But anyway, you can replace any indicator of this table with the other indicator of the list. As I said, this is a quite flexible approach. You can decide, okay, what is the most useful information for me, and you can replace any indicators of the list, excepting the one obligatory indicator, that is the share. No, sorry, this is not. There is one obligatory indicator that is here, the percentage of population or households spending percentage of their income on energy services, and this percentage of the income should be defined at the local level. That is the only obligatory. The rest is everything voluntary. I think this is all from my side. As said, everything is integrated in my covenant. You can take a look there, and you can start to work with indicators, with the monitoring tool, Yeah, now we are in a transition period. The energy poverty pillar is going to be obligatory up January 25 for the covenant municipalities. But I think you have now this year to take a look, to start think about the integration of energy poverty also with your mitigation and adaptation measures. And I think EPAH can give you also a good advice about how to use these indicators. I think EPAH is the best direction to make question if you have any problem with the indicators. And of course, you can also contact the Covenant of User Office anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel, for your insights about what is required for the Covenant of Mayor signatures about energy poverty. As he was mentioning, EPAH can be a support for you to work on energy poverty on the Covenant perspective, that the technical assistance does not stop here. And we look for a broader perspective of giving support to municipalities. So this is what we envisioned when we wanted to work on the technical assistance. So the idea was to move forward and find solutions together, combining expertise in order to reach the goal to have an impact on tackling energy poverty. We would like to give you some idea about the material that is already available on our website for the principal reason that in all these documents, you can find some inspiration and some idea on what it can be your technical assistance in case you are looking for inspiration, in case you don't have already a clear perspective of, you know that you want to do something, but you have not clear idea of what it can be asked. So at the moment, you have available different reports that provide inspirational example from across Europe. You can also scout on our EPAH Atlas, where there are more than 250 cases and projects implemented on energy poverty. And you can look at what municipalities are doing across Europe, but also worldwide. There is already available the introductory course on energy poverty, where you can find some basic information about energy poverty, and the handbook, the introduction to the handbooks, where you can find more information about the different categories of vulnerable consumers, the different type of energy poverty, or how to measure it. In these days, we will also release the 10-hour course that it enter into more details, where you will find the different insights, both in the form of lessons or interview to some of our experts or member of municipality under the current technical assistance. It is designed on purpose to be released with the call, so you can find directly information and find inspiration. At the same time, soon it will also be available, the first handbook that is focused on diagnosis, where we will guide you through 7 steps to outreach and reach a complete diagnosis of energy poverty at local level. These handbooks are designed especially for municipalities to start the journey and work alone without our technical assistance, and our technical assistance can then build on it, or anyway, they can still start having some action. But let's enter into a little bit more detail about what it is the technical assistance we are providing exactly. As said, we want to develop the tailor-made solution, try to study specifically the local context. For this reason, we work through what we call a trio support. Basically, there is the needs of the local government, you into account. So you specify and formulate what are your specific needs. And then we pair you with an expert organization that it's locally based, so to have the knowledge of the specific context and national laws in your realities. And then we support them with all the EPAH team. And our main role is to provide connection through the wider European network in order to put you in contact with other municipalities facing similar challenges, or that they already found a solution and you can get inspiration from, but also to channel your messages through the different level of government, national and then European Union. Our first technical assistance was launched the past year, more or less this time. In total, we will be able to award 35 municipalities through 24 projects and represent 11 countries. You can find out more about all the technical assistance ongoing on our website under the call. There is a poster for each of the municipality where it's described the specific actions you are implementing right now. But to give you an example of which request we received, here we created a word cloud. So the request of assistance was very broad. It is just to say that it's true we can support you to define and navigate the tool of the covenant, but we can also support municipality in a broader perspective with different actions. We have been requested to support them to define the indicators, but also to identify possible financial solutions to implement projects they already had, to increase awareness about energy poverty, to provide capacity building both for the municipality staff, but also for the population, to work on data collection, to help them set one-stop shops or energy community. As you can understand, the topic that we are covering is quite wide. And we are welcoming the municipalities that are tackling energy poverty to apply, even if they are at a different level. This meaning that the call is open both for municipalities that are just starting their journey, so they need to understand better energy poverty at the local level, but also for municipalities that are maybe a step forward and they already identify or diagnose the local energy poverty and they're looking for dedicated support to either include energy poverty in their climate plan or to implement specific actions. Here, an example of the poster you can find on our website for each of our technical assistance ongoing, where you can find what the municipality is working on. We have an example here from Greece. You can see that this municipality is working on the diagnosis and specifically on data analysis and express the need to have someone supporting them on developing stakeholder mapping, a dedicated questionnaire, and analyze the data from the questionnaire to develop some planning and include actions in their plan. You can find all the other on the website as said. But now let's enter into detail about this call and how you practically can apply to it. So the first thing is to download the description document. It's already online on the page of the call. We decided to release it in advance to give you the chance to start looking and designing and understanding what it can be done. To who it's targeted, we are aiming to address local governments and organizations from the 27 member states that they want to process their journey. Our main goal is to achieve local results that are effective and impactful. So this is what we are looking when you apply, that you have an idea of how we will concretely support to develop the action. What will be awarded? It's a maximum of 9 months of tailored support from the local expert and the EPAH team. To give you an idea, you can consider that the commitment of the local expert can vary between 70 and 110 hours. However, this represents only the effort of the local expert, on which on top there is all the part from the EPAH team that goes to be added to these hours. How you can do? From the 1st of March, you will see available on the website the opportunity to register. You see both the login option and the register options. The login is mainly for our technical assistance ongoing, but they have a different access. You, as new application, need to register first to our website. You can find it on top of the page or under the day in which the open starts. What you will find, as soon as you enter and register yourself, you will find on top the possibility to click on Apply Now. And if you look about instruction, you will find a group of different documents for you to access. You have the call description that is also already available on the homepage, but what you will have more, it's the downloadable version of the application form that it's useful for developing the proposal offline and then moving it online. You can find the letter of commitment from the municipality and some additional documents like tips and tricks that guide you on how to develop your proposal. Let's go through the flow that we envisioned. So the first thing we advise is to review the complete document and also the application form in order to understand for you how much commitment is needed and what are the different information we are asking in order to fill the proposal. Consider that we estimated that for a municipality that already have an idea of what to ask, the time to develop the whole application form is not more than 1 working day. So get an idea of what is requested. In order to also design it in an appropriate way, we welcome you to evaluate the evaluation matrix that is in a chapter specific inside the document called description. You are also invited to decide what team and which kind of assistance you want, and to partner with other organizations that can support you. This year, we introduced a change. So this is new also if you follow the previous technical assistance. As soon as you will click on the Apply Now button, the first request that the website will ask you if it is you are applying for a single or a bundle proposal. The single proposal is a proposal that is submitted by one local government in partnership with other type of organization, meaning one local government with a civil society organization or a research center, an energy agency. But basically, the single or bundle is decided by the number of the local governments. The bundle proposal, it's considered when it's the proposal is presented by more local governments in partnership together for some specific reason, or for a supramunicipality authority that is representative of a multiple number of municipalities. For example, a Euro metropole that represent all the municipalities under their responsibilities. Even for the bundle, there is still the opportunity to then have 2 additional partners of different realities, like to still partner with a civil society organization, with a research center, a university, energy agency, or what is more appropriate to develop the action. What is the difference? The difference in the application form is not really significant. The 2 fields are the same. It's what changed most. It's the number of characters you have available to describe your specific context. And this is clearly connected to the fact that if you're applying as bundle, maybe you have to detail the situation for a multiple number of municipalities, so you need more space. Another significant change is when you write the specific actions. In case of a bundle, it is important to underline the reason of why you apply jointly and to give an additional value of working together among different municipalities. This meaning that the bundle needs to have a purpose in which there is a replication or there is a similar context or a specific reason to apply together. Another advice, as I said, to develop the proposal, look at the same time at the application form notes for each of the plain text field. You will find more or less the information that we are looking for to be reported in that area. And then you can find in the call description more details about each of the sections. There are also other additional parts where you can collect information. It's already available on the main page of the call, the frequently asked question. Please keep an eye on this field because we will add additional answer if we receive a specific question from some beneficiaries, either during the webinars or online through our info email. As we said, we always welcome organizations to partner with other realities if this helps them to develop a stronger proposal and to achieve an higher impact. The apply online, the application is all online, so you can download and compile it offline and then transfer. But remember that at the end has to be all done online. The commitment letter. As the past year, we included a draft for a commitment letter from the local government. However, this year, the letter is not mandatory for the application form. For the application phase, it is not needed. However, in case you will be an awarded proposal, you will have up to 15 days to submit the letter of commitment from the local government. So keep in mind that for the signing the technical agreement, in case of awarding, we will request this letter. So it's better to have the local government at least on board when filling the application. The deadline for the submission is set the 31st of March at the end of the day. At the time, it's the Brussels time, so GMT +1. A very important thing, remind, you will find at the bottom of the proposal, there is either save without submitting or submit proposal. Remember that before the deadlines need to be submitted.